Chapter 2, Part A, Methods of Enquiry in Psychology. Topics covered: Goals of psychological inquiry, steps in conducting scientific research, nature of psychological data. Number 1, Goals of psychological inquiry. Description, prediction, explanation, control, application. A. Description. Descriptions help psychologists to distinguish between typical and atypical behaviors and gain more accurate understanding of human behavior and thoughts. B. Prediction. It is the understanding of a particular behavior in relation to other behaviors, events, or phenomena. It tries to predict their occurrences under certain conditions with a margin of error. Prediction becomes more accurate with the increase in the number of people involved or observed. C. Explanation. The goal of explanation is to provide answers to questions about why people react to certain conditions or stimuli in a certain way, how various factors impact personalities and mental health. Throughout psychology's history, many theories have emerged to help explain various aspects of human behavior. D. Control. Psychology aims to change, influence, or control behavior to make positive, constructive, meaningful changes in people's lives and to influence their behavior for the better. Control refers to three areas: making a particular behavior happen, reducing it, or enhancing it. E. Application. The final goal of scientific inquiry is to bring positive changes. Psychological research is conducted to solve problems in various settings. Next topic: steps in conducting scientific research. First step: ask a question. Second: research existing resources. 3. Formulate a hypothesis. Number 4. Design and conduct a study. Next, draw conclusions. Then, report results. And finally, revise research conclusions. Step 1. Make an observation, ask a question, and select a topic for study. The researcher begins by choosing a topic to study. After the chosen area of interest is done, a thorough review of the literature is done on the subject. A literature review involves reading written materials from books and academic journals. Once the researcher has gained considerable background information on the topic, the next step is to ask a question and form a hypothesis, a tentative answer of the problem. Step 2. Test your hypothesis and collect data. The second step is to collect data and determine whether the hypothesis generated is true or false. Data collection requires developing a research design. Four major aspects are considered which designing a research plan. A. Participants in the study. They could be children, youth, teachers, parents, students, managers, patients, depending on the topic of the study. B. Methods of data collection. There are various methods of data collection which the researcher can use to receive data for their study, such as observation, experimental, survey, correlational, case study, etc. C. Tools to be used in research. Various tools available to a researcher to conduct study are interviews, observation, questionnaire, etc. D. Procedure for data collection. The researcher also decides about how to administer the tools to collect data, that is, individual or group. After deciding on all these aspects of research design, actual data collection process begins. Step 3. Examine the results and draw conclusions. Using statistics, researchers can summarize the data, analyze the results, and draw conclusions based on evidence. This can be achieved through graphical representations such as preparation of pie chart, bar diagram, cumulative frequencies, etc., and by the use of different statistical methods. The analysis will help to determine if the results are statistically significant and whether the experiment has or not supported the hypothesis. After conclusions have been withdrawn, the next step is to share the result with the rest of the scientific community. Step 4, revising research conclusions. The researcher at this stage can investigate whether the conclusions drawn from this study have supported the hypothesis or not. If not, the researcher will revise or state an alternative hypothesis or theory and again test it based on new data and draw conclusions which can be verified by future researchers. Thus, research is a continuous process. Next topic is nature of psychological data. Types of data. There is one is qualitative data, that is can't be expressed in number, can't be measured, such as pictures, words, symbols, etc. Next is the quantitative data, which is expressed in numbers such as how much, how many. Under qualitative data, there are two types of data. One is nominal data, like just a name, a thing, and the other is ordinal data. Data is placed in an order or sequence. Under quantitative data, there are two types of data: discrete data and continuous data. Discrete data means that data involves only integers and cannot be subdivided into parts. Continuous data is an information that could be divided into finer levels, can have any numeric value. Quantitative data examples. Scores on test and exams, example 85, 70, 90. Weight of a person, example 65 kgs, 25 kgs. Temperature in a room, example 27.5 degrees Celsius. Qualitative data examples. Colors, example color of the sea or dress. Names, example Raman, Kriti, etc. Religion, such as Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, etc. Nominal data example. Gender, such as women, men. Hair color, black, brown, etc. Marital status, married, single, widowed. Caste, general, OBC, SC, ST. Ordinal data examples: first, second, and third person in a competition. Economic status: low, medium, high. When a company asks a customer to rate experience on a scale of 1 to 10. Discrete data examples: the number of students in a class, the number of workers in a company, the number of test questions answered correctly. Continuous data examples: the height of children, speed of a car, temperature in your city. In psychology, different types of data or information are collected, such as number one, demographic information. This information usually includes personal information like name, age, gender, number of siblings, education, occupation, marital status, number of children, caste, religion, etc. Number two, physical information collects data about ecological conditions like hilly, desert, forest, mode of economy, housing conditions, size of rooms, facilities available at home, in the neighborhood, in the school, mode of transportation, etc. Number three, physiological data. In some studies, physical, physiological, and psychological data are collected about height, weight, heart rate, level of fatigue, galvanic skin resistance, GSR, electrical activity of the brain measured by electroencephalograph EEG, blood oxygen levels, blood pressure, duration of sleep, amount of salivation, etc. And number 4, psychological information. Information is collected such as areas of intelligence, personality, interest, values, creativity, emotions, motivations, psychological disorders, illusions, delusions, thought processes, perceptual judgment, etc. The remaining lecture and notes of this chapter will be continued in Part B video.